Boo! At the open, all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning, I wanna turn on this. Deck it quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dropped, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot key strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking? Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this. Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as yeah. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want a stock pick. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounces. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, roll with the marijuana. Waking up with the futures, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Make profits. That TTG money gang, making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo. What's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. This is a stream that I think you have all been waiting for. Okay, I think this is a stream that we have all been waiting for. Sorry that we're late. Okay, sorry that we are late, but we have a lot to talk about tonight. Okay, we have a lot to talk about tonight. This is one of the craziest moments of my entire trading career. I've been doing this for over 18 years, and there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening right now that we've got to unpack, and we have to get into. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, what I plan on doing. Tonight's live stream will be just a little bit different from those of you that have attended my live streams over the last several years. You know, we have a certain kind of routine and a certain process and schedule that we like to follow with these live streams, kind of keep things coordinated and organized. But tonight's going to be just a little bit different. And there's just so much to unpack, and there's so much for us to talk about. I'll just give you guys kind of a quick, brief intro for those of you that are new. And I'm sure there's many people on here right now that are brand new, that maybe have never been on one of my live streams before and are just looking for some answers. You know, I think that let me actually just see real quick, just if you guys are not members of True Trading Group, just so I can get a sense. We have like 2,300 people on the stream right now, just so I can get a sense of how many people on here are not part of TTG. Do me a favor and just type the letters TTG right now if you guys are not part of True Trading Group. I just want to get a sense real quick. On what we've got, how many people we have on here that are not members of True Trading Group. If you guys could do me a favor and just go ahead and type the letters TTG in chat. Just type the letters TTG if you guys are not part of True Trading Group. Let me see. We got Mark. What's up? Beanie Boy, Rodrigo, QKH. What's up? Tom. How are you? We've got, I can't even, too many. Cristiano, Jason, Trace, Jordan, Trader. Nice. Sprout, welcome. 23. Wow. Okay, so there's too many people that are typing. I can't even keep up. Mike, Matt, Brian, Saeed, the Nest of Heaps, Marty, Jason, Daily Trader. What's up, Matt, Jordan, P, Next, User. Yo, letter P. I remember you from last week's live streams. Welcome back. What's up? Listen, all of you that are typing TTG right now, I can see there's many of you that are brand new here. You guys are all in the right place. And you're all in the right place, not because I'm sitting here telling you that I think that I'm the world's greatest trader. You guys are in the right place because in 2008, I received the Trader of the Year award at the hedge fund that I was working at on Wall Street. Okay. But that's point number one. This is not something that I have never experienced before. It is actually something that I'm not saying this is 2008. It's actually not 2008. Let me just clarify that real quick, because I know that people are going to start going nuts now that I just made that reference. I'm just telling you that this is not the first time that I've gone through a very severe, fast, quick, insanely panicked driven stock market crash. And the move to the downside, I know it feels extremely fast. It is extremely fast. It's one of the fastest downward moves that we've ever had in history. If you look at how fast the market's fallen in the last 2 days, Thursday, Friday, and now today, another follow-through gap down today, down around 4.5% or so on the S&P. It's the fastest decline that we've seen probably in the last, it's 25 fastest declines ever in history, and it's top 10 over the last 75 years. So if you were to strip out the Great Depression of the 20s and 30s, and you just looked at from World War II on, this is actually the fifth fastest decline that we've ever had. When you look at how fast the markets have fallen in 2 days and what looks like is going to be a third day in a row, I've been through a lot of different situations like this before. So I'm not, if you came on this live stream tonight and you're looking for someone to run around with their hair on fire and tell you that the United States is going into a depression and the markets still have 70% more downside, you're not going to get it from me. But you're also not going to get from me a sugarcoating. You're not going to get from me a sugarcoating of what's transpiring. You're going to get from me my raw analysis of what I believe we should be doing. And I'm going to give you exactly what I am doing with my own money. And you guys can take that information and do with it whoever as you please. But you guys are in the right place because of this community, this platform that we have here, over 10,000 members from 115 different countries, working directly with the NASDAQ. You guys are going to get real tools, real resources, real information from myself and from this platform. And I don't mean to use like a hyperbole. I'm not trying to exaggerate when I was telling you guys, I made the reference to 2008, but this is the fifth fastest 2-day decline. This is not even factoring in what's happening right now. And the markets are down a lot right now. But if Thursday and Friday, this is actually the fifth fastest decline in the last 75 years, going back to 1950. And this is going to be a third day in a row. And yes, I do think that we're going to be going lower tomorrow. Because obviously we're down around, I'll tell you right now, futures market right now, we're down just under 4.5%. We were down around over 5% earlier. As soon as the futures market opened, we had a big flush to the downside. We're down around 5% or so. Now we're down around 4.4. I have a question real quick though, before we go into what's happening and what I think is going to happen to the markets going forward. How many of you joined True Trading Group during COVID? Type number one if you guys joined True Trading Group during COVID. Just type the number one if you joined during COVID. So now I'm talking specifically to members. I'm talking specifically to now members. And if you guys joined during COVID, just type the number one for me real quick inside chat. All right, so many of you. Right, and that makes sense. Right, that makes sense that many of you joined during COVID. You had like 10 million new retail traders enter the market during COVID. Obviously, several thousands of those, found their way over to True Trading Group. So many of you have kind of seen this before. And I want to ask you, when you joined during COVID, were you scared? Like at that time during COVID, when you joined, were you scared? or maybe I should specify, like, were you scared during COVID, the actual COVID crash? Because 2021 was still COVID, but the markets were at all-time highs, so you probably weren't scared at that time. You probably had massive FOMO. But while the markets were crashing in 2020, were you guys scared at that time? Like in real time, March, April of 2020, markets are tanking 30, 35%. Were you guys scared? Okay, some of you weren't. Okay, it looks like most of you were scared at that moment in time. Didn't know what I was doing. That's why I joined. Fair enough, Trevor. Fair enough. No, it makes a lot of sense, right? It makes a lot of sense. So some people were, most of you were scared. Some people were not, but it makes sense, right? People get worried. People get scared when markets go down, and when markets go down as fast and as viciously as they have. We've actually just wiped out all of 2024. So when you look back at what the markets did in 2024, we have officially just wiped out all of it. It literally is right now as if 2024 never happened. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you guys, all of you that joined looking for something. You all joined looking for something, right? Type the word, the one word. What was it for you? Like, why did you join? Those of you that joined during COVID, or just joined your trading group in general, why did you join? One word. If one word could be described, what was it? Why did you join? And new people, I want you guys to pay attention. Pay attention. Structure, somebody recommended us to you. Wealth, education, freedom, learning, freedom, stability, income, independence, invest, knowledge, diversification, freedom, learn, education, knowledge, family, education, trust, learn, success, money, education, money. Wow. These are some really good answers. A lot of you have very similar responses, but these are some really good answers. And the people that are not members, and there's many of you that are on here right now, and I want you guys to watch something real quick. TTG members, all of you that are answering and all of you that are participating and you guys are interacting with me on this live stream, I really do appreciate it, because tonight is going to be, I told you, tonight is going to be a little bit different than the way that I normally run these live streams, because this is a historic moment in the markets, which is what you are experiencing right now. Make no mistake about it, is a historic market crash. Okay, it is an absolutely historic market crash what you guys are witnessing. But what I want to see real quick, members of True Trading Group, here's the best part. And if you're not a member and you're one of the people that typed TTG before, I want you to pay very close attention to the response that you're going to get from members of True Trading Group right now to this question. And then we're going to move on. TTG members, now that you've joined True Trading Group, are you making money and are you guys becoming better traders because of TTG? If you are, type the number 1 right now. And then we're going to move on. We're going to start talking about what we have cooking right now. Okay, we're still just sitting here. Markets are just in complete shock right now on this gap down. So we opened up, we flushed, and now we're trading sideways, just in a complete shock kind of moment right now. Go ahead and type the number 1 if you guys are making money and you're becoming better traders now because of TTG. Even in this environment that we find ourselves in now, even last week when the markets got the absolute piss kicked out of it, just type the number 1 if you guys are making money. Now, this might come to a surprise, right? This might come as a surprise to many people that are watching, and all they're hearing about is how much money people are losing. Yet you're looking here and you're watching all these thousands of people tell you that they're making money during this time. And everyone that you just saw why they joined, right? You just saw the reason why they joined. Now you're seeing the reason why they've stayed. So all those people that joined during COVID, you saw their reasons, okay? Education, freedom, stability, invest, income, money, right? Well, now you're seeing the reason why they actually stayed. And that's because they're making money and they're becoming better traders, regardless if the markets are going up or down. And I think the one thing that I really want to get across to everybody right now on this live stream, because I know there's a lot of people that are nervous, and I'm going to talk big picture. I'm going to talk big picture with you, I promise. I'm going to talk long-term portfolio, I promise. I'm going to tell you whether or not I think that you should be buying what's happening right now, or whether I think that it is time for you to sell what is happening right now. I'm going to give you those answers. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing with my own positions. I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing with my own money. Now, you take that information, you do with it as you please. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with yours. Okay, I'm sitting here telling you, someone that began their trading career working at a hedge fund in New York City that received a Trader of the Year award in 2008. I didn't have to sit in Discord chats. I didn't have to watch YouTube videos to try to figure this stuff out. I was trained by professionals on Wall Street, my first job right out of college. I've been doing this for over 18 years. Okay, what do you guys trade? Zero DTE. We trade everything. We trade everything. We trade equities. We trade options. We trade futures. We do trade zero DTE. In True Trading Group, it's not just me. I'm the person you see on these live streams, but there's 8 other professional full-time traders that are moderators at TTG. We have one of our moderators that actually has been trading over 30 years. He's actually a former market maker and now just trades for himself and is a moderator at True Trading Group, and he trades zero DTEs. So we do it all. You know, with True Trading Group, we day trade, we swing trade, and we also do cover long-term portfolio stuff. And I've been sharing with all of our members in True Trading Group what I have been doing with my long-term portfolio over the course of these last couple of days, where the markets have just been absolutely imploding in on themselves. Okay. I think that the point that I want to get across before we talk about the long-term portfolio stuff is, in fact, the importance and the luxury that we as active traders have. Okay, because we as active traders, we just had one of our moderators, Shy Martin, who just literally had her biggest P&L week ever in the history of her trading career, biggest P&L week that she's actually ever had, and that was last week. And why is that? Because she was just slamming put options for the whole week. She bought put options on the retest of the 200-day moving average up in here. Going into Liberation Day, she bought these put options when you had the auto tariff and the higher than expected PCE numbers. She held those put options into the announcements from Trump, and then you got this massive sell-off, and she has been just peeling put options off on the way to the downside, and she still has runner positions on, and she's probably most likely going to be getting flat those positions if I know Shy. And of course, I do know Shy because she actually started out as a member of True Trading Group and is now a full-time professional trader. She's going to be peeling those profits off and be flattening, most likely going to be flattening out those positions going into this open here tomorrow. And I think it's the right move, because what I think that we're going to see, I think you're going to see an absolute max blowout on the VIX tomorrow. You will probably see, you could see a situation where in the overnight session with China playing catch up. Remember, you guys might not know this, the Chinese markets were closed on Friday, so they didn't really have a chance to trade and to price in China's retaliation. So when China announced their retaliatory tariffs to ours, that's what prompted the excessive sell-off for us on Friday. But the Chinese markets were closed and didn't really have a chance to price that fully in. So they're going to price that in here now. And what you may even see a further extension to the downside in the overnight session going into like midnight hour, 1, 2 o'clock, when everyone is sleeping here and liquidity kind of dries up. You could see an even further move to the downside. But then what I think you're going to see happen is actually going to be a tradable bounce opportunity. And the tradable bounce opportunity is very, very, very important, because this is what we do as active traders. Okay, our number one job first is to make money on a regular, consistent basis through active trading means, whether that is long, short, calls, puts, futures, whatever it is, it's to make money on an active basis. That is the number one goal of a trader like myself and the members of True Trading Group, the 10,000 of us from 114 different countries, the 8 other professional traders that are mods at True Trading Group. That is our number one goal. It doesn't matter for us whether the market's going up or down. The long-term portfolio is really the only thing that we worry about when the markets are going up or down, because you position yourself for put options. We have a lot of our members. Guys, just give me a shout out in chat real quick. Just give me a shout out. Give me an AO, give me a number 1, give me a number 2, give me whatever the hell you want to type in chat. If you guys have been making money trading this downward move with us, I know many of you have, because we've had huge weeks. We've had huge weeks these last couple of weeks. We've had several triple-digit gains. We had an 850% gain last week. We had a 350% gain last week, a 400% gain last week. We had like 3 or 450% gains last week. Okay. And these are all put options, obviously, right? These are all put options. But then we've also been trading small caps, right? I like to trade small caps when small caps are hot. I also trade large caps, obviously, right? But we've also had really good moves in small caps. AREB was a huge one, right? You've had a lot of WTF, you had Newsmax, all these huge, ridiculous moves in these small caps, and we've been all over them. We've actually had really big P&L weeks while the whole world is freaking out and the markets are crashing. And make no mistake about it, this is a crash. This is absolutely a crash, okay? This is a crash. This is a bear market. It's no longer a correction. And I told everybody coming into this year, and I'll be the first person to sit here and tell you this. In January, I told you, I think we're going to have a correction this year, but I don't think it's going to be a bear market. It's what I've said since the beginning of the year, okay? Now, what I did not anticipate was the sheer amount of the tariffs that we were going to get on Liberation Day. Nobody predicted that. It is way above any of analysts' worst possible scenario with the tariffs. It's above that, which is why you've seen the markets react in the way that they have, right? Nobody was positioned for the tariffs to be that high. So what happens when the tariffs are that high is that all of a sudden, every analyst has to adjust their earnings expectations for the S&P 500 for 2025. They all have to be adjusted now. And when you adjust the earnings expectations to now incorporate the new proposal of tariffs, the earnings growth number comes all the way down. We came into 2025 with analysts expecting anywhere from 12 to 15% on the high side of positive earnings growth in 2025. Then you slap a 20 times multiple on that, and that's how people ended up with like a 6,600 price target for this year. Nobody was anticipating the tariff number. The tariffs will directly impact earnings on the S&P 500 if they actually go through, and if those tariffs are actually the tariffs that we get for the next several months. Now, the hope is that those are not the tariffs that you get for the next several months. But if they are, then all of those earnings estimates have to come down. And as those earnings estimates have come down, some as low as just 3%, and then you have to reduce the 20 times multiple back down to a realistic number of around 18 times probably to get yourself to factor in that extra risk. And that puts the S&P 500 at like 4,800. 18 times, 19 times, put you with the new earnings estimate, put you at around 4,800 on the S&P. You want to know where the S&P is trading right now? 4,870. It makes sense. It's where the market should be based on these earnings expectations. Now, the multiple becomes the question. If the multiple goes even lower, okay, but the average multiple is around 17 times, 17, 18 times, okay, is the average multiple on the S&P 500. So when you get to an average multiple with the current expectations, you sit here and you stare 48.50 in the face. Now, if you lower the multiple even further down than that, let's say you go to a 16 times multiple, which would indicate excessive risk and possibility of recession, that takes you down to like an even fair value of around 4,500 on the S&P. Not too much further to the downside from here, but still another 300 points on the S&P to the downside. Okay, you're talking about now you'd be talking about deep bear market territory. Right now, you're in just run-of-the-mill bear market territory. We're down in the low 20%. But if you factor in recessionary multiple, then you're looking at probably around a 30, 35% decline, not a 22% decline. And that would take you into that mid to low 4,000s on the S&P. So that's where the market should price in. That's why the markets have fallen so fast, because overnight, with just the show of a chart at a press conference, all of the expectations change for the year. So the markets need to reprice, and they're repriced instantly, which is why you've seen the markets go down as much as they have over the course of the last couple of days. This will mark one of the greatest 3-day declines in stock market history. Okay. Even without this decline in the overnight session, it is the fifth largest 2-day decline in the last 75 years. You go back to 1950, you've only had 4 other occasions where the S&P went down by more than it did Thursday and Friday in a 2-day period. Okay. That's crazy. This is a historic moment in the market. Okay. It's historic, no matter how you want to look at it. And it's not anything that anybody would have been able to say and wrap their head around when you came into this year. Yeah, this is what we're going to get. This is what the tariff situation is going to look like. Now, what I will tell you is this, okay? And here's some other information to kind of give you perspective on this. What you're not going to hear from me is, and I've read the comments. I've read the comments from people, and they're like, sell everything tomorrow. You sell everything tomorrow. You come back and talk to me in a couple of years, and you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate yourself. You want to wait until the markets go down 25% and then you want to sell? Homie, brother, your time to sell was weeks ago. Okay? Your time to sell was weeks ago. Unless you're 75 years old and you need that money right now, if you do not need that money right now, then I think waking up tomorrow morning and selling everything, in my opinion, would be a massive mistake. Your time to sell was a month ago. You will never, ever, 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 ever see me sell after you just had one of the largest 3-day declines in stock market history. It is the absolute worst time to sell. The absolute worst time to sell would be tomorrow morning. Because the reality of the situation is, okay, see, this is the problem though. The vast majority of people don't know what to do. Whether you admit or not, most people thought about it. Most people thought, oh my God, what should I do? I should probably wake up tomorrow and I should panic and I should sell. The reason why you should not, well, listen, you do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. The reason why I'm not doing that is because nothing goes up in a straight line. Nothing goes down in a straight line. And my friends, we have gone down the last 3 days in as straight of a line as you could possibly have. Look at what, and this is where the market currently sits. Okay. So look, is this a straight line? Yes. Is that a straight line? I mean, my goodness. My goodness. Now that is as straight of a line down as you can possibly see. The markets are they're going to eventually, they're going to try to bounce. Okay. They will try to bounce. And I'm telling you this right now, get ready for a massive 2.5%, 3% green day at some point over the course of the next couple of days. I'm telling you that right now. You're going to see that. Do you want to know why I know you're going to see that? Because this isn't my first freaking rodeo. I was working at a hedge fund. I was on Wall Street during 2008. Okay. I was here obviously during COVID. When you have downward moves this severe, the markets will also try to bounce back that severe. Now, I think that the bounce will be met with selling pressure because there's still so much uncertainty about what's going to happen with the tariffs and whether or not the economy is going to go into recession. Right now, recession odds are skyrocketing. Okay. Recession odds have skyrocketed over the course of the last couple of days. But does that mean that a recession is a guaranteed foregone conclusion? No, it does not. Here's some pieces of information that I think are going to surprise you. Of the last 75 years, and I'm not giving you my opinion right now. These are what I'm about to tell you are straight facts. And these facts might make you go, wow, I did not know that, because most people don't know this. Of the last 75 years, I told you this is the 5th worst 2-day decline. Never mind 3-day decline, because a 3-day decline is going to be bad too. The last 2-day decline. Of the other 9 times, this is the 5th worst. Of the other 9, the 1-year market performance after that decline on all 9 of them is green. The 3-year market performance after that decline on all 9 of them is green. The 5-year market performance after that decline on all 9 of them is green. This is a fact. So again, if you don't understand what I'm saying, since 1950, 75 years, this is the 5th largest 2-day market decline since 1950 out of the top 10. This is number 5. And of number 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, out of all of those others, 1 year later, after that decline, market's green. 3 years later, market's green. 5 years later, market's green on all of them. On all of them. Not just one or two, all of them. Meaning on every single other decline that you've had this severe in the last 75 years, not one instant was the market lower 1 year, 3 year, or 5 years later. That's a fact. This is not my opinion. That's history. Those are the facts. Here's another interesting fact that I'm going to share with you. And again, this has nothing to do with my opinion. These are just facts. How many people know what happened in 1987? Go ahead. How many people know what happened in 1987? $1987. Black Monday. Right? Black Monday. 1987, Black Monday. Yep, Black Monday. Perfect. And guys, also do me a favor, just make sure you click the live button. Make sure you're watching this video live. Just click the live button. Make sure you see a red dot next to the word live. Just make sure you click the word live. Make you see a red dot. This way you're not watching this video delayed. Okay. So 1987, markets crash, right? Big market crash, right? Big market crash. 1987. Yes, Black Monday. And that everyone's talking about. You've probably seen this on social media. Everyone's like, oh, get ready for Black Monday. Tomorrow, the market's going to go down another 15%, right? That's what everyone's telling you on social media. Oh, tomorrow's going to be Black Monday. In 1987, I believe it was actually October 19th, 1987. The stock market at the time, the Dow Jones, which was, that's what people were looking at back then, not the NASDAQ or anything else. The Dow Jones went down 22.6%. In one day. In one day, 22.6% in one day. In one day. Okay? One day. That's what happened in 1987. And the markets had crashed the Thursday and Friday going into that as well. And then they were down 22% just on that one Monday. You guys want to know how bad the recession was in 1987? Does anybody want to take a guess how bad the recession was in 1987? Anybody? Anybody have any idea how bad the recession was in 1987? Does anybody know how far the markets ended up going down in 1987? I'll answer it for you. There was no recession. There was no recession. Everybody thought there was going to be a recession. That's why the markets crashed. Everybody was worried about inflation. Everybody was worried about spiking oil prices. Everybody was worried about geopolitical tensions with Iran. Everybody was worried about overvalued asset prices. And everybody was worried about the possibility of a recession. And that's what sparked the crash of 1987. But a recession did not follow. Even though the Dow Jones went down 22% in one day, a recession did not follow. Matter of fact, the markets went on to, you guessed it, finish 1 year later, green. And a recession actually did not happen. I'm just sharing with you facts. Again, I'm not giving you my opinion on anything that's happening right now. I'm just giving you facts. I'm giving you a quick history lesson. I'm giving you a quick history lesson because I want to put into perspective what's taking place right now. I want to put into perspective what's taking place right now. Because I have seen some of the craziest comments, even just in here on this live stream, waiting for the live stream to start and reading some of people's comments. Some people are like, the markets have 60% further downside. You are nuts. People like get ready for soup kitchens all across the United States. Get ready for the worst depression that you've ever seen, right? Guys, that type of commentary and that type of language, okay, is so insane. Okay. It's for you to say that there's another 60% downside. So you think the market's going to go down, what, 80%? That's what you think? The market's going to go down 80%. Is that what you're going to do? You're going to wait, wait for the market to go down 80% until you buy something? Good luck. Hit me up in a couple of years. Let me know how that works out. The NASDAQ is down 22% since Trump took office with smiley faces. You know what, brother? We don't do politics here. If you want to talk politics, get off my live stream, go to Facebook. Honestly, go post your comments on Facebook. Okay. I don't care anything about politics. I don't care about it at all. All I do is I focus on what's happening right in front of me on my screens, and I focus how to make money from it. Okay. That's it. All I care about is how to make money from it. I don't care. I don't care what George Bush did. I don't care what Obama did. I don't care what Trump did. I don't care what Biden did. I don't care what Kamala would have done. I don't care what Trump is doing. I don't care. Okay. And let's assume you're right. Let's assume Donald Trump is the worst and he ruined everything. And then also, what if he succeeds? Who knows? Who cares? What does that do for you tomorrow? What does that do for you tomorrow? Nothing. What? So one of you are going to be able, because this is what's happening. You have two different groups of people and they're all waiting to try to say, I told you so. That's it. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in making money from what's happening. Is your soapbox more important than your bank account? Is your soapbox more important than your bank account? Yes or no? Because if the answer is yes, you're on the wrong YouTube channel. I'm telling you that right now. You're on the wrong route. If your soapbox is more important to you than your bank account, you're on the wrong YouTube channel. Members of True Trading Group are Republicans. Members of True Trading Group are Democrats. Members of True Trading Group are independents. Members of True Trading Group are liberals. Members of True Trading Group are conservatives. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what your political opinions are. Our members don't care. Okay? Our members don't care. Our members just want to figure out, how do we make money from this? That's what True Trading Group is for. It is not a place for you to come and talk about how much you hate Donald Trump. It's not a place for you to come and talk about how much you love Donald Trump. It's a place for you to come to figure out, how am I going to make money from what's happening in the stock market? That's what True Trading Group is. And if that's what your goal is, then let's go. I would love to have you part of the group. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll together. We have members in 114 different countries. What do you think their opinions are? Do you think they care? Didn't they want to stand on top of a soapbox and tell their friends and their family members, I told you so? Whether this works out or doesn't work out, whether you have a massive recession or you don't have a recession. I haven't even given you my opinion yet on what I think is going to happen. I haven't. I haven't even given you my opinion on what I think is going to happen. Exactly. And Trisha, you hit it right on the head. And Trisha says, which is exactly why we are doing so well in this kind of a market. Thank you so much, Mike. There it is. Comment right there from Trisha. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is a crazy time. People are scared. People are divided, right? Anxiety is high. I get it. Joined TTG last week. I made this week great being in the group and finding profits. That's incredible. Congratulations. See, you just joined literally a week ago and you crushed it last week. So you joined right in time. you joined 1 week ago and you were able to catch the put option plays that we had last week. It's incredible. Let's go. Just tell us what to do. D-Sin, I'll tell you what. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. You don't know me. I mean, tell you what to do. Tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I made $7,000 last week. My second week as a member, says Westar Fitness. That's incredible. Like that's crazy. Let's go. Tell us what to do. Like I'm on your schedule. Like, let's go. Tell us what to do. Why would you listen to me anyway, Deason? Do you even know who I am? You're not a member of True Trading Group. I can tell you that. You're not even a member of True Trading Group. So if I told you right now, dump everything you have tomorrow, sell everything, we're going to have a Great Depression. Are you going to do it? What if I told you, go ahead and take out a second mortgage on your house and put your entire life savings into the market tomorrow? Are you going to do it? Why? Just because some guy on a YouTube channel told you to? This is crazy to me. This is what happens. This is what happens. Okay. This is what happens when people, when this stuff happens in the market, people go crazy. People go absolutely crazy. They go absolutely crazy. You guys, listen, you want to know what I'm going to do tomorrow? You want me to tell you what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm buying stuff tomorrow. I am buying stuff tomorrow. Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am buying stuff tomorrow. Am I dumping all of my cash into the market tomorrow? No, I'm not. Am I going to keep cash on the sideline in case things get worse? Yes, I am. But am I going to take advantage of one of the largest 2-day, 3-day market declines that the market has ever had in its history? Am I going to take advantage of the S&P falling into bear market territory for the third time in the last 6 years? The answer is yes, I am. I have been doing this for almost 19 years. I will continue to be doing this for 19 more. And I'm telling you all this right now. I don't care what any of your opinions are. You can say whatever that you want on this YouTube channel. And the best part is I don't care. I am going to be buying stuff tomorrow. I'm going to be selective with what I am buying because I still do think that some stocks are still expensive. Even with how much we have fallen, I still do think some stocks are expensive. But I'm going to be putting some of my cash to work tomorrow because it is a steadfast rule that I have had for my entire life. My entire life, whenever the markets go into bear market territory, I am always a buyer. I don't care why the market's going to bear market. I am always a buyer. The reason why I'm always a buyer is because you only get a bear market once every 4 to 6 years. We have now had a bear market 3 out of the last 6. You had a bear market in 2020. You had a bear market in 22. Now you have a bear market in 25. The odds of that happening are incredibly rare. You go back and look over the last 100 years, and I'm going to hear people say, this time it's different. I get it. I'm going to hear that again from people. I'm going to be a buyer in the markets tomorrow. And I also think that the markets are going to bounce. Okay. To the user DSIN and people like DSIN that was like, oh, enough, get to the good stuff. Tell me what to do. You are, and people like you are a scammer's wet dream, my friend. People that are out there that just scam people, that have no real value, that don't provide any service, don't provide any resources, don't provide any tools, don't have any real affiliations with market leaders. Like we have a partnership with the NASDAQ itself. We literally have a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ itself. But people like you are going to fall victim to a lot of scammers that have just some random person with a Discord room or some person that has some crypto algorithm, and you're going to fall victim to those people. And those people are the greatest scammers that you have. And I have such incredible hatred for those people because they take advantage of people when they're at their most vulnerable, because people are scared right now. People are losing money in their 401ks and they're looking for answers. And what those people are going to tell them, what they're going to tell them to do is not anything that's going to actually be in their best interest. It's going to be something that will only benefit them. They're not going to actually provide you any meaningful, actionable information that's going to help you make better decisions. The reality of what's taking place is the decisions that you make over the next 90 days will impact the rest of your life. That's the truth. The decisions that you make over the next 90 days will have a lasting impact on your life, just like the decisions you made in 2022, the decisions you made in 2020, the decisions you made in 2018, the decision you made in 2016, the decision you made in 2008. I just rattled off all of the years that the market saw deep correction or bear market territory. The decisions that you make during those times will have a lasting impact on your life. That's the truth. The next 90 days matter. They matter. Whether there's a recession or not, they're going to matter. You want me to tell you what to do? Cool. Let me tell you what to do. I got you. I'll tell you what to do. Take control of what comes next with a platform and a community like you have inside of True Trading Group. Over 10,000 people, 114 different countries. Because of this, and guys, let me tell you something. True Trading Group has been completely inundated on our social media channels, on our info at True Trading Group email account. We have been completely inundated by people that are asking, what do I think? What should I do? What do I think? What should I do? Are you buying stuff, Mike? Are you selling stuff, Mike? What should I do? What are you buying? What should I sell? Are we going to have a recession? Are we going to have a depression? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? We have been completely inundated over the last several days about what is happening and what they should do. And I understand the anxiety. I really do. I understand the fear. What I will tell you, okay, first of all, and again, True Trading Group is not watch Mike trade. I'm not sitting here trying to pretend like I'm the world's greatest trader and I know it all and I have a 100% win rate. And last year I made $47.6 bajillion and I'm right 10 times out of 9. And I have a crystal ball that can predict the future. I'm not telling you any of those things. Okay. Am I right all the time? No. Am I right a hell of a lot more than I'm wrong? Yes. Am I the best trader in the world? No. Am I an incredibly good trader? Yes. But it's not just me. There's 8 other professional traders that are moderators inside True Trading Group that do this for a living, that have been doing this for decades. I've been around long enough to know I would follow Mike into a fire. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, I really do. I appreciate that. One more time, just real quick, one more time. If you guys are not a member, if you're not a member, type TTG. There's 3,200 people on this live stream. I assume many of you. Yes. Do we have a plan for tomorrow? We absolutely do. I'm going to tell you it. If you're not a member, type the letters TTG, please. If you're not a member, type the letters TTG. If you're not a member, type TTG. Yeah, I think you're going to get a blowout on the VIX tomorrow. You're going to get a blowout on the VIX tomorrow. The VIX probably trades up into the 50s or 60s. Wow, I can't read how many people we have typing right now. We have Lance, P, Ariel, Cristiano, David McAllister, what's up? Lowell, Rebecca, Trace, Piotr, Moran Walsh, what's up, brother? Kevin, Coley, Brian D, what's up? Afshan, how are you? Tim, Nick, what's up, brother? Julio Villanueva, I love that last name. It's just so much fun to say. Villanueva. David, Linda, Trinell, Emery, L3, Ars, Nesta, Rod, Andy, Chris, Russell, Jordan, Bashkauda, Greg. I mean, so many here. Dominic, Ravi, Dora, Philip, Trinell, Mike, Greg, so many of you guys. Excellent. Okay, great. I'm going to tell you all what to do. Okay. DNIS or DDSIN. I forgot who the user was. I was asking before. I'm going to tell you what to do. Listen up. Seriously. Okay. Listen up. And then I'm going to go over with you guys some of, my top trade ideas for the week and exactly what I think happens in the markets this week. I want you guys all to listen up. Okay. Colton Brown says, this is the group. Don't play around. Join. I love that. You guys are the best. This is one of the best times ever to join TTG, help navigate you through this historic event. My boy, Bird, hope you're doing well. Thank you for the coffee, brother. You're the man. The next 90 days matter. And this is a historic moment. So it's time for True Trading Group to do something historic ourselves. This is what I'm about to say. This is the first time that we are ever doing this in True Trading Group. And it is because of the responses that we have got from people and the communications that we have got from people that have been reaching out to us on our social media channels and on our email. This is the very first time that we are ever doing this. So listen to me very carefully. Okay. All of you that just typed the letters TTG, I want you all to pull up ttgoffer.com. Listen to me very carefully, and then I'm going to explain to you what I think happens to the markets and what I'm doing with my money tomorrow, and what I'm doing with my long-term portfolio, but also what I'm doing trading-wise, like how I plan on making money on the day. Never mind also what I'm going to do with my long-term portfolio. Okay, go to ttgoffer.com. This is the very first time that I'm ever doing anything like this, ever. Okay, ever. We are going, and listen, you guys asked, we are going to deliver. The next 90 days, I think, are going to have a massive impact on the future of your accounts, your financial situation, and your stability. Okay? I truly and genuinely believe that the decisions you make over the next 90 days are going to have a lasting impact. So what we are actually going to do, and I understand people are scared, and I understand that people have some barriers, some hesitations. We are going to offer, for the first time ever, a 90-day subscription into True Trading Group. True Trading Group is normally a full 1-year membership. The amount of people that have reached out to us asking what to do, but are not members, you guys have to understand, on times like this, listen, I love to help people. I love to answer questions on social media. We love to answer in our info email, but I can't do that during times like this. Okay. Our members come first. My time is completely dedicated to our members. I have one-on-one mentor sessions to help them do with members. We have mentor groups that we're going to be hosting this week. Okay. I need to focus there. I need to focus on helping members of True Trading Group make adjustments. What are we buying? What are we selling? What should we do? How are we trading? How are we making money from this volatile environment? I have to focus on that. And I might not be here a lot this week. I don't know if you guys noticed, I didn't do live streams on Thursday and Friday last week. We do live streams every day. I didn't live stream last week. You want to know why I didn't live stream last week? Because I was with our members. I was with our members talking about the long-term portfolio, what we think is going to happen on the macro scale, talking about individual trades, how we can position ourselves to make money on this downside move. How do we hedge positions that we already own if you don't want to sell? That's why I wasn't live streaming last week. I was spending that time with our members. And I'm telling you right now, this week coming up, I might not be on this live stream often because I'm probably going to be spending that time with members of True Trading Group. You guys can go to ttgoffer.com right now. Okay. And instead of a year commitment, instead of a year membership, I'm letting you guys join for just 90 days. The annual membership price, we will work with you guys on. Forget about the annual membership. You can join for 90 days for $250 for 90 days. 90 days, $250. Okay. There's no automatic renewal on the membership. It is a flat 90-day membership. After the 90 days is over, you don't automatically get charged for a year membership. Okay. It just expires. You never charge anything again. If you guys want to become a member for the full year, you've got to manually do it yourself. We're not going to automatically charge you. Okay. There's no, you need to manually sign up for the year. Otherwise it just expires and you never charge anything ever again. Okay. So don't even worry about it. Okay. Well, and if you want to join for the full year, we'll work with you. We'll even credit you the $250. So the $250 that you paid for the 90 days, we'll give you a credit for that if you want to decide, hey, you know what? I want to stay for the whole year. I want to join the 10,000 members from 114 different countries. I want to stay. Okay, great. But I'm going to let you guys join for 90 days for just $250. That's it. You're going to get the courses. It's a simplified version of the training program that I received and I worked at a fund in New York. You get Benzinger Pro's real-time newsfeed, Trading Views premium charting software, the Trade Ideas scanner, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, congressional trading data. It's all included for 90 days for $250. There is no excuse. There is now no barrier. Every single one of you that are on this live stream right now, you all have $250. Okay. There's no more 1 year commitment barrier. Oh, I'm not sure. I want to spend that money on a membership. I don't know. I don't know if I want. Okay, great. $250 for 90 days. Done. This is not a watered down version of our annual membership. Okay. This is your insurance policy. This is your insurance policy. So you don't have to go through the next 90 days by yourself, listening to people on social media, not knowing what to do. This is a chance for you to join 10,000 people that are led by myself and 8 other professional traders that have real Wall Street experience, that have been doing this for decades professionally, to help you navigate the next 90 days. It's your insurance policy. And if you hate it, you hate it. It's $250 that are gone. And if you don't like it, if you feel like the $250 wasn't worth it, guess what? I'll give you another 30 days. That's how serious I am about the next 90 days being that important to your future. And we have a double your money back guarantee at True Trading Group. I don't know if you guys know this or not. If you're new, when you join a full annual membership, the way that we usually work is, if you guys, let's say, for example, let's say if you paid $1,000 for an annual membership, if you did not make $1,000 during your annual membership at least one time, like you didn't make back your membership fee, we give you back $2,000. So we'll give you back double what you paid. That's the way that it works at True Trading Group. We have a double your money back guarantee. I will even tell you, those of you that join for the 90 days, if you decide that you then want to become an annual member of True Trading Group, we will also then, unlock for you the double your money back guarantee. So all we ask is there's things you need to do. If you join the annual membership after your 90-day trial, you got to go through our courses, you got to pass the quizzes, you got to attend one study group. And if you do those things and you still can't make your membership fee back at least once, we'll give you back double the money that you paid to join. That's how we are at True Trading Group. That's how we operate. Okay. If you don't take this deal, you are nuts. Yes, you guys, honestly, if you're on this live stream, if you're worried about what's happening, I really do honestly think you're nuts if you don't take this. I'm doing this literally for the people that have reached out over the last several days. I understand people are scared. I understand people are nervous. This is not the first time that I've experienced something like this before. ttgoffer.com, 90 days, $250. You get access to everything that's part of the annual membership. There's no automatic upsell. There's no automatic upgrade. There's no automatic renewal. It's just $250 for 90 days. When your 90 days are up, you never charge anything ever again unless you manually decide, I want to become an annual member, and you decide you want to upgrade. It doesn't happen automatically. This is a business. True Trading Group has over 30 person staff, over 10,000 customers all over the world. I will roll the dice to prove that we can make a difference in the next 90 days for you. And then you find your home and decide to stay with True Trading Group, and then we both mutually benefit. That's what I'm doing. I'm literally I'm rolling the dice to prove to you how much I believe that we can help you in the next 90 days. That's what I'm doing, because I've never done this before. True Trading Group is a year membership, always has been, always will be. I'm literally just doing this for this historic moment that's happening in the market. You give me 90 days, and I'm going to prove to you that we can help you during those 90 days. And if we are successful in doing so, and you decide I want to stay for the full year, fantastic. Then you benefit and we benefit. That's what I'm doing. Well, as a newcomer, I'd rather decide after this week. Nope, not the way it works. Not the way it works. I'm not doing it after this week. I'm not doing it after this week. This is not a new thing I'm doing. True Trading Group is not we're not adding a 90-day membership. This is not something I'm just going to start offering to everybody now. We have a 7-day trial. Join that. We have a 7-day trial. Okay. We'll charge, you can join for 7 days. Okay. And if you do decide you want to join, it's $1,497 after you do the trial. Okay. So I'm not offering this to people. I've been a member for years. He has not offered this before. Yes, I have not. Guys, don't worry about the year. Don't worry about the year. Worry about the next 90 days. Because over the next 90 days, we're going to find out, are the tariffs staying? Are they negotiated down? Do the tax cuts, do the tax cuts get extended? Do they get deepened? Does the Fed start cutting rates? Do we end up in a recession? Does China negotiate their tariffs down? Does the EU negotiate their tariffs down? The next 90 days are critical. Is the 250 good for previous members as well? Yeah, why not? Listen, if you guys used to be a member and you want to join back for the 90 days for $250, send a text message right now. This is if you used to be a member, okay? If you used to be a member and you guys want to come back home, send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. 1-888-621-2127. Text that number right now. If you used to be a member and you guys want to come back home, okay? If you're a trial right now, okay, you're going to have to pay $1,497 if you decide you want to become a member after your trial. This is not the time to do the trial. I'm giving you 90 days for $250. This is your insurance policy. This is the trial. 90 days. 90 days, $250. And if after 90 days, you're like, you know what? I don't really think it was worth $250. I'll give you another 30 days. I'll give you another 30 days. I'm dead serious. But I'm not going to offer this indefinitely. This is for tonight and for tonight only. Guys, they're crediting for the annual. That's amazing because you're definitely going to end up wanting to stay. Yeah, we actually have like a 75% retention rate amongst our members. Guys, real quick, show of hands. Type the number 2 if you guys have renewed your annual membership or you're a lifetime member of True Trading Group. If you're a lifetime member or you've renewed your annual membership, can you guys type the number 2? And real quick, the people that are on here that are not members, I know there's many of you. If you're not a member, just pay attention to how many people have renewed their membership. Because you have to ask yourself this, right? Let's say you guys did join and you didn't make any money, worse, you even lost money. Are you going to stay? No, right? You're not going to stay. You're not going to renew your membership. You're sure as hell not going to become a lifetime member. We have a lifetime membership for the people that want it. It costs several thousands of dollars to be a lifetime member. But why do you think all these people have done that? Why do you think all these people are lifetime members? Why do you think all these people have renewed their membership? It's because they're having success. I wouldn't expect you to renew your membership if you just lost a bunch of money with us. That's what I'm saying. Look at all these. Look at this. Look, they're still typing. They're still typing. This is what I'm saying, guys. When people ask, why should I join True Trading Group? Like, what makes you guys different? I think people expect me to like brag about myself or sell myself. I don't. The reason why I think you guys should join is because the platform that we have created, and it's a platform, okay? This is a fintech platform that has a chat room, that has trade alerts, that has 9 professional traders that show you their trades and talk to you through the day and give you trade alerts, entries and exits, but also have education, has partnered with companies like Benzinga and TradingView and CBOE and Trade Ideas and OpenAI, and has a data partnership agreement with the NASDAQ for level 3 data and all these different things. This is True Trading Group. That is TTG. Okay? That's True Trading Group. I made money watching you on YouTube with Golden Nuggets. My boy, more on Wall Street. You're not a member yet, though, brother, are you? You're not a member, right? I think I saw you said you typed TTG before. Join, man. Dude, I'm telling you, man, join. 90 days, $250. What do you have to lose? You've made money from my YouTube channel. Imagine what you can do as a member of True Trading Group. And again, it's not just me. You're going to have all the other moderators in there too. Take advantage of it, guys. If you have any questions, you can send us a text message, 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. Okay? That's 1-888-621-2127. Phone number's right down there. Text that number if you have a question. Text that number also if you used to be a member and you guys want to come back. Okay. So there you guys go. Okay. That's the best insurance you'll ever pay for. Best insurance you'll ever pay for. Yes, that's also true, Bert. Steve Leisman has been on our live stream several times. Steve Leisman is Steve Leisman from CNBC, good friend of True Trading Groups. I joined as trial member, and in less than 24 hours, I have joined as annual member, and in next month and a half, I was lifetime member. TTG is about education. That's incredible. That's incredible. You decided that quickly you want to become a lifetime member. This is the best insurance you guys could pay for. And guess what? For some, it won't be the alerts. For some of you, it won't be the alerts. It'll be the insight. You know, it'll be the money you make. It'll be the money you save. I would have been crushed by regret if I hadn't joined TTG and became a lifetime member. Reaper Trades, I hope you are doing well, my man. I hope you're doing well. So again, guys, that's ttgoffer.com. That is ttgoffer.com. You guys can head on over there. Everything on that page you're going to get included for 90 days. For $250, that's it. Yes, we have a futures trading program. Yes, we trade stocks, we trade options. Yes, we trade zero DTE. Yes, we day trade. Yes, we swing trade. Yep, that's true. Blessed Hot Mess says absolutely no hate in chat. Everybody helps everyone. Yes, that's so true. Our goal over the next 90 days is to help you through this, not to make you millionaires. Let me make myself very clear. My goal is not to make you a millionaire in 90 days. My goal is to help you through these next 90 days because I think the decisions that you're going to make, listen, my goal is twofold. My goal is one, to help you make the best decisions you possibly can for the long term, but also to help you generate income and make money from this volatility so that you don't feel as bad about what is taking place. The markets had the worst two-day stretch, the worst two-day sell-off on Thursday and Friday than we've had in 50 years. And our members crushed it. I made $1,500 over lunch one day last week just looking at Gio's charts. Yeah, so Gio, that's the name of our moderator who's been trading for like 30 years. Guy's a former market maker, and he trades zero DTE SPY options exclusively. It's all he trades is zero DTE SPY options every single day. But really nice job making $1,500 during lunch. That's incredible. Stuff like that matters in a time like this. You want to make money during this volatility, and you can offset the decline you're seeing in your long term, and you can use some of that income you generate from the trading profits to then roll that money into your long-term portfolio later when stocks have come down. That's the whole idea of this, right? You don't want to be buying stocks when they're at all-time highs. Make money on the way down and then buy the stocks after they've already crashed. And then 1 year, 2 years, 3 years later, you look back and you're like, man, that was perfect. You're not going to get the exact bottom of the market correct. Okay. I don't try to perfectly time the bottom of the market. Anybody that tries to do that is a complete moron. You are a fool if you try to wait for the exact bottom in the stock market. Nobody on Wall Street, no hedge fund manager tries to do that. The idiots on social media try to do that. There is not a single person that manages hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, that tries to catch the bottom of a crash. No one does that. Because the reality is, everyone that does this for a living realizes that nobody is good enough to do that.
Hey,
what's up, man?
Hey, introduce me so they don't think I'm just like jumping in on some random guy hacked your stream.
He just hacked us. No, guys, this is Adam. He's my business partner and co-founder of True Trading Group. Now he's above me. Now he's above me. He was just below me. Now he's on top.
Here's what's happening. We have had 50 people sign up since you started talking.
It's awesome.
Yes. We have about 20 something messages in the text message system. And it is just Joe and I because Lucy is AWOL. I don't know where he is tonight, but we have 23 text messages to reply to, which we have not done yet. We're going to do it now. And we have just about 50 people that have signed up tonight. Big shout out to Larry Watson. Homie is going ham, buying literally every single upgrade in the platform right now. I mean, you can slow down. You can call us. I mean, we don't know you, but I love you, Dad.
Yeah.
So, anyways, here's what we're gonna do. So just please be patient if you're in the chat. If you're in the text message, I see everybody in there right now. Okay. Kelvin, Alessandro, Renard, Wendy, Michelle, Joshua, Guillermo, Vishnu Shankar. I'm sorry, dude. Hugh. I see everyone in there. All right. Joe and I are going to work our way through it. So just please be patient and we will get with you. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to say, just because we're getting like hammered. I don't think we've ever had this many people sign up in one live stream.
That's awesome. That's good. Yeah. I knew it. I knew this because a lot of people were asking for something like this. For those of you that had reached out to us, again, they emailed info@TrueTrading Group, or they reached out to some of our social media handles. We've been flooded. We've been flooded. And I think that this is a serious moment. It's a historic moment. You don't see instances like this very often. You just don't. You really don't. You got to take advantage of stuff like this, guys. You have to. And I'm not coming on here telling you, when I say you got to take advantage, I'm not telling you that, the bottom is in. This is it. This is the bottom. Buy everything. It's not what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that stuff like this doesn't just come in stuff like this. You have to take advantage when these things happen because they're so incredibly rare. Does the market go down another 10%? I don't know, maybe. But when you look back over time, moments like this, the increases in volatility, this is where traders, we dream of this stuff. People that are just sitting on their 401ks, they don't dream of these times. But people that are actively trading this market dream of this stuff. This is why one of our moderators had their biggest week ever in their entire trading career last week. You can make money when the markets go down. You don't have to sit back and be a prisoner and just sit there on your long-term portfolio and panic. Make money trading this volatility and use that money to then add it to your long-term portfolio.
Yeah, real quick. Larry Watson, if you're on the live stream, I'm literally the one texting with you right now. Brother, please just give me a second. And I swear to you, I'm going to give you my attention and help you out. I'm just trying to get through everyone that's texting in right now. I know. And I assume that, Larry. Larry said, you called me out for buying upgrades. I just wanted to buy for a year. I figured that much. So just give me a little bit. I swear, my name's Adam. This is my direct, this 800-888 number that you're texting goes directly to me. I'm also going to give you my personal cell phone in chat right now, or not in chat, you know what I mean, in the text message. Larry, shoot me a text message there. I am going to fix this for you. Okay. So that way you're not, so that way you don't have any issues. You're very welcome, brother. It's my pleasure. I appreciate you coming in and doing that. And we need to refund you $14.97 and make sure that you have the right amount in there. So we got you. We will take care of that for you. Please just shoot me a text so I have it. Okay. And to everyone else, I see all the messages coming in. Just, please, bear with me. And I promise you, I will absolutely, we will get it. And Mike, let's get off the sales thing because the markets are open. I'm getting blown up here as well. We got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about this. Let's talk. Okay. All right. So let's get into this, guys, about, what I'm going to be doing and what my thoughts are here with regards to the overall markets. My my game plan here. And now I have, so let's see, I got, futures. So right now futures are 48.96. We've basically just been trading sideways. We've basically been trading sideways for the last, hour and 45 minutes or so. We're down 4% on the ES. We're down just over 5% on the NASDAQ. So this is going to be the third, if the markets close here or lower, it's the third consecutive 5% decline in the NASDAQ in 3 days. So you were down over 5% on Thursday, over 5% on Friday, and you're down over 5% now on the NASDAQ. So the bloodbath in tech and the NASDAQ continues. You also had the stock markets in Japan, the topics in the Nikkei, they actually halted. So got a halting limit down there in Japan. And everybody wants to know, are we going to have a Black Monday type of event for us tomorrow? And what I think you're going to possibly see happen tomorrow is that you're seeing this continuation of volatility. And right now I have a chart for you guys on my screen right now of the SPY, which does not trade right now. The futures market's trading. I have that separately, but I'm going to keep this on the SPY just to save the bandwidth on my live stream so I don't start to have a crappy connection. But my target for the long-term portfolio for my net, and I already have been buying some stuff, but my target on the long-term portfolio, which for me is an absolute no-brainer, like you got it for me, it's like you got to buy some stuff here, is going to be right against here. Okay, so these previous all-time high tops, this is going to be the high from 2021, and that takes you to right here. It's 480 on the SPY. Okay, which is not the same as on the S&P right now. You're 4,900 right now.
I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. Real quick, I'm literally sending the same message to everyone that says that I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm sending the same message to everyone that's texting in right now. They're saying their name and they're saying, I want to give it a try. I want to sign up. I want to give it a try. I want to give it a try. I am sending the same generic message to everyone right now, which is excellent! Exclamation point. Go to this link and sign up. If you go to that link and sign up and you have an issue, then come back and say, hey, it didn't let me sign up. I used to be a member. But it should let you sign up there. To everyone else that's saying, or there's really just one person that's saying that says that I don't have access to the chat room. That is because the chat room is closed this evening. It opens at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. And it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern. All right. And when you get to your dashboard, there's instructions on how to download and install the mobile app. Okay, because you all get the mobile app as well. All right. So even if you're an old member, try it. It should work because it's a different membership. It's not the annual one that you had. So you should be able to sign up using your, signing up for a new account. Also, feel free to maybe try a different email, and that usually fixes it too. So either way, we will help you, but try the link first. Okay. All right. That's all. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, folks. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. So that level right there also takes you to bear market. Okay, so that also takes you to bear market territory, and that is where I'm going to be buying in my long-term portfolio. Okay, now I'm not going 100% in. Okay, so I'm telling you guys that I do think it's possible that you can see things accelerate on the overnight session. You've already had the Japanese stock market halt. Does the U.S. market halt? You've got to get down 7% for the U.S. markets to halt. Right now, the NASDAQ is down 5.5%. You have 1.5% to go. The ES, which is the S&P, we're down 4.25%. So you still have a little bit of a ways to go until you would get a halt here in the U.S. Now, whether or not we are going to halt here is going to be dependent upon what happens in the overnight session and in the Asian markets and how bad the sell-off gets in Asia for what the result is going to be here. Japan's prime minister has also just made a statement just 5 minutes ago that said, we are going to continue to ask the United States to lower their tariffs against Japan, but we likely just will not get results overnight. Okay, that is a comment that came from Japan's prime minister in the wake of the topics in the Nikkei being halted. So those are your exchanges in Japan. So you're seeing this move happen here in the Asian markets. It's possible that we can get like a limit down type overnight. I wouldn't be surprised necessarily.
I am so sorry. So what we're gonna do tonight also is 2%. Who's one of our mods? He's gonna open up the main chat room right now. So for everyone that is signing up tonight, it's gonna end up being like 100 new people, I think. We're gonna open the main chat room to help you. To help you with how to use stuff basically tonight. So that way tomorrow you're not like a deer in headlights. So just give us
a great idea, man.
Yeah. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah. So 2% is going to open the room, and that man is as patient and as awesome as it gets. So to everyone that is signing up, just bear with us. We're going to open the room. We knew a fair amount of people. Look, we normally get between like 15 to 20 signups a night on these live streams. I don't think we've ever had this many signups on a live stream. I think it's great. And we're humbled and super excited to work with you guys. So
yeah, it's a great idea. This way, all of our new members, if you guys have time, you can actually go into the main chat room. And some of our team will help show you guys the dashboard, how to use everything, where to go, the chat rooms, how to understand trade alerts, the courses, the tools and resources available to you guys. This way you guys, that's a great idea, Adam. This way you guys kind of can go into it knowing what to, you guys can go into it kind of knowing how to navigate everything and what to do tomorrow. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
I think that's pretty good too.
Yeah.
And then that way, if anyone has any issues with the app or whatever, but yeah, look, tomorrow's probably gonna be a pretty ugly day. We expect the chat room to be full tomorrow. I think, I expect to have over 3,000 people in chat tomorrow. Normally we have like 25, 30% of our membership base in chat at any one time consistently, about 40 to 45% unique throughout the day. Tomorrow, I think those numbers are going to get blown out of the water. So I think it's important that, that we try and work with people best we can for tonight. And look, it's an incredibly scary time. I'll tell you this. So Mike has been my business partner and best friend for almost 2 decades, man. And I'll tell you this, I didn't have a long-term portfolio during, right around COVID. And this dude looked at me and said, do whatever you got to do, go buy whatever you got to buy, and I didn't do it because I'd rather buy domain names and invest in businesses and other stuff. And because I'm not the trader. I run the business at True Trading Group. I'm not the trader. Right. And I got to tell you, one of the biggest regrets I ever had personally was not buying some of that stuff during COVID. I don't plan on making that mistake twice. So
amen to that.
Yeah.
So let me tell you guys kind of what I'm looking at from a long-term portfolio standpoint, but also from a trading standpoint. And this might come as a surprise to a lot of people. I believe that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to make a ton of money long. Yep. You heard me say it. I believe Monday into Wednesday-ish, I'm going to make a lot of money long. I'm going to explain to you guys why. This decline is going to be a potential capitulatory event where you're going to see a complete blowout on the VIX. And it's important to understand the relationship of the VIX and the sustainability of moves in the VIX. Whenever you have a situation where the VIX gets above like 30, it's not sustainable. It signals that there's a type of a peak fear moment. There's a lot of things that are working into why I'm going to be buying in my long-term portfolio with the SPY around 480-ish, 485, which is the S&P, kind of 4,800 or so. The reason why I'm going to be doing that is A couple of reasons. First, we are finally retesting. Okay, you're finally retesting the previous all-time high from 2021, which this is a weekly chart, which never got retested. Okay, when it broke it in 2024. Okay, you can see you got these pullbacks, but you never got back down to retest that prior high. This pullback takes you into that prior high. But the other thing that is significant about that is that prior high lines up. You see this yellow line? That is the 200-day weekly moving average. Now, the reason why that is important, that is exactly where the market bottomed in the 2022 stock market crash, the 2022 bear market. That is exactly where the market's bottomed. You overshot it briefly during COVID, and it was exactly where the market's bottomed during the 2018 bear market when you had, anybody want to guess what happened in 2018? The US-China trade war. And it is exactly where the market bottomed in the 2016 recession scare. So 2015 into 2016, we had a recession scare that bottomed out at the 200 weekly moving average. Okay, the last time, and also in 2011, with the foreclosure crisis and another fear of a recession, we bottomed in 2011. The last time you were beneath the 200 weekly was 2010 as you recovered off of the 2008-2009 great financial crisis. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing, and what I'm going to be looking for this market, the way that I'm looking for this market to play itself out, if there is no recession, okay, then I do think the markets will find a bottom somewhere in this region. Okay, if there's not a recession. Now, right now, the chances of there being one are very high. I'm not telling you there's not going to be one. I'm just saying if there's not, then you probably bottom somewhere in this region right here. Okay, and that'll be kind of the bottom for the year if there's not a recession. Now, keep in mind, I understand how scary it is right now, but keep in mind, 1987 was a lot more scary than it is right now. I think we all can agree that. The Dow Jones fell 22.6% in one day. October 19th, 1987, a 22.6% decline in one day. And that was also coming after the stock market sold off the week prior, continued over the weekend and opened up and then sold off again, down 22% on that Monday, which is Black Monday, the worst crash that we've had since the Great Depression. And that was because everybody was scared that we were going to have a recession, but a recession was actually avoided in 1987. And the market proceeded to then actually finish 1 year later slightly green. Okay. Again, that's just a fact. I'm not giving you an opinion on anything. That's just a fact. So if there's not a recession, then this is going to be the bottom. And this is why I have to be buying this move here. I have to, because in the chance that there's not a recession, then the bottom is probably somewhere in this region that I just circled. Now, if you do have a recession, then you're talking about the markets going down to here. And you are talking about most likely breaking this 200, this yellow line you see on my screen. You're probably talking about breaking that. If you actually have a recession, you probably go somewhere down a little bit further. You probably would drop down to here. And that's okay. And if that is the case, then I'm going to, like I said, I'm not putting all of my cash in here. Okay. I'm not, but I am buying here. Not all of my cash. I'm still going to have some cash on the sidelines, but some cash is going in right here. Okay. And then if there's a recession, you'll probably trade lower down into this region. And then I'll just put more money. I'll put more money, into the markets once you actually have a recession, if it's confirmed that we do get a recession. Okay. But I'm going to be putting money in there in my long-term portfolio. And then we'll come back and we'll check on it in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and we'll see how we're doing. I think we're going to be doing pretty damn well. Okay. But from a trading standpoint, okay, the reason why I'm actually looking long into like Tuesday, Wednesday, some of the biggest stock market up days actually occur during market crashes. You guys need to understand that. If you look back over the biggest green days in market history, most of them are actually in stock market crashes. So some of your biggest green days ever were actually during 2020 and actually during 2008. which are two of the most violent stock market crashes that we've had in the last 2 decades. And the biggest up days, a lot of them are mixed in there. A lot of your biggest up days are also mixed into like the Great Depression of the 20s and 30s. Some of your biggest green days actually occurred during those market crashes as well. So what happens is markets get oversold, markets get blown out, they capitulate, and they snap back like a rubber band, and then they snap back. It's a tradable bounce, but the bounce doesn't hold. The bounce then gets met with more selling pressure from people that want to sell more stuff, and then you roll back to the low, you break the low, you continue lower. And then again, you get overstretched, you capitulate, you then snap back like a rubber band. So from a trading perspective, I'm looking for the markets actually at some point this week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, to snap back. Okay. And the reason that we're going to look at that is, again, this support level that you guys see on the chart of the SPY, but also the VIX. I want to show you the VIX. Okay. The VIX is going to most likely probably trade itself up into, I would probably guess, the 50s or 60s. You're probably going to get a VIX in the 50s or 60s. Now, for comparison, okay, you got to 66 on August 5th with a Japanese yen carry trade when you had the huge gap down on August 5th. You guys remember that. Then we got to 85 during the COVID crash. 85 was the COVID crash. 2018, this was the US-China trade war. We got all the way up to 50. Okay, then you can keep going back. 2015, we got as high as 55. That was a recession scare in 2015 when everybody thought we were going to have a recession. And then here was the foreclosure crisis of 2010, European debt crisis, another recession scare. And then here we got as high as 90, which was the great financial crisis of 2008. The point that I'm making is every time that the VIX gets up to an elevated region, okay, into the 60s, it is not sustainable. So you can see all these other trading instances. You get these quick spikes, and then you get a very sharp downward move every time that the VIX blows up. Okay, the VIX cannot be sustained up at that level. What the VIX is actually measuring, what is the size of the expected move that traders are anticipating that the S&P is going to make in any given day. The higher that the VIX goes, the bigger the percentage move that is anticipated. Okay. So right now in the overnight, the overnight session on the SPY, we're like 486. So we're right at that spot. We're right at that support level that I want to be a buyer in my long-term portfolio. And from a trading perspective, you take a look at the VIX every time. And those were weekly charts. So even when I go back to a daily chart, you can see the daily chart. You'll see these are the same things. I just switched it. So you're probably going to have a VIX blow it up tomorrow, probably up into the 60s. And that is not a sustainable move. That is going to be a sign of a potential capitulation event and a potential tradable bottom. So I'm not coming into the markets tomorrow. I think if you come into the market tomorrow and you pound the market short, you are going to get your face ripped off. Now, it might trade lower early, but if you get short tomorrow and you stay short into Tuesday and Wednesday, I think you're going to get your face ripped off. I am not coming into the market tomorrow looking to go short. I think you should be coming into the market tomorrow looking to take profit on shorts and then position for a tradable bounce, take profits on the bounce, and then look to reposition short for another move back down towards those lows. Nothing goes down in a straight line. Nothing goes up in a straight line. I think we're getting to a point where the VIX is blown out. We are at a peak fear type of moment. Indexes around the world are halting. The market's had its biggest 3-day drop since probably the Great Depression or 1987. Okay. And I think that you're at enough of a support level. You got the 200 weekly. You've got the prior all-time high from 21. You got the blowout on the VIX. I think that there's room here to make money on a bounce. That's what I'm telling you. That's how I'm going to be getting ready and how I plan on making money here coming into this week. We have CPI and PPI inflation data Thursday and Friday. I don't think anybody cares. Even if you get a lighter than expected CPI number, I don't necessarily think anybody cares. This is all about tariffs. I think the only thing at this point that could stop this sell-off and have any type of a meaningful bounce, because the bounce I'm talking to you about right now It's not necessarily a meaningful bounce. It's a tradable bounce. It's not a bounce that I necessarily think holds. What I think is probably going to happen is you'll snap back, but just from a technical standpoint of just an oversold, peak fear, capitulation, VIX blowout, and the markets will just bounce. Okay. But to have a significant bounce that has any chance of holding, you need headway with tariffs. But you don't just need headway with any tariffs. You need headway with China. You need headway with the European Union. The European Union has been awfully quiet since Liberation Day. Awfully quiet. What are they doing? Are they preparing their own form of retaliation that China announced? The only two areas that really honestly matter in the market's eyes when it comes to tariffs are China and the European Union. Just because Vietnam or Cambodia or Laos or, like an island somewhere, the Ivory Coast, just because one of those countries is like, hey, we want to drop our tariffs to zero, that's not going to get the markets to bounce. Nobody cares necessarily about that. Everybody knows all of these small countries, they are going to come hat in hand. They're going to be like, hey, my bad. We'll do whatever you want. You want us to make our tariffs zero? No problem. Whatever you need, right? That's going to be all the small countries. Everybody knows that, okay? 97% of Cambodia's GDP comes from the United States consumer, okay? And the stuff that we buy from them. If we don't buy stuff from them, they're toast, okay? So them saying, oh, we want to negotiate, or Vietnam being like, hey, we're going to lower our tariffs. It's not that big of a deal. It's China. China's the real issue at hand. They're also the ones that retaliated against us last week, which caused the sell-off on Friday and is exaggerating the sell-off today because there has not been any news or any headway about it whatsoever. The European Union also, a unified European Union can fight. China can fight. A country like Vietnam, Thailand, they can't fight this. So their moves, their actions, their negotiations will not matter. It is going to come down to an update with China, an update with the European Union. If those tariffs can get negotiated or if they can get delayed, the markets will rip back to the upside. If there is a day, I don't know if this happens. I'm not telling you this is what I think happens. I have no idea what's going to happen with these tariffs. I'm just telling you this is what could cause the markets to go back up. This is what can cause the markets to go down further. If you woke up one day and there's an announcement that the reciprocal tariffs are delayed 45 days to allow for continued negotiations between the U.S. and China, you will have a 3 to 3.5% update in the market. That is what is needed in order to really provide a meaningful, significant bounce. A lighter than expected CPI report, not going to do it. It might cause a technical bounce, but it's not a sustainable one because you still have the looming threat of recession. Okay, just because you get a stronger than expected labor report doesn't necessarily matter because that is backward looking. You actually got a better than expected labor report on Friday. The markets went down 5%. Nobody cares because that better than expected jobs report was before the tariffs and before the very high increased chance of recession. So nobody cares about it because nobody's worried about what happened last month. Everybody's worried about what's going to happen the next 6 months with the tariffs. And everyone thinks that the tariffs will cause a recession if they stay as is. And I agree with that. If the tariffs stay as announced, I can't imagine any scenario that we do not have a recession into the third and fourth quarter of this year that rolls into 2026. I can't imagine it doesn't happen if the tariffs stay where they are. The only way that I think you can avoid a recession, and I still think it's possible that we could avoid one, but you would have to get these tariffs to not actually go into effect on April 9th. You would need to get some type of a news announcement or very soon thereafter, April 9th, where they're only on for like a week or two, that they get negotiated off or they get delayed or they get frozen or paused or drastically reduced, whatever it is. That has to happen in order for us to avoid a recession. If that does not happen, then I think there's no possible way we don't have one. Those are my thoughts. Okay? Those are my thoughts. Okay? That's it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And again, I'll be the first person to tell you guys, right? I came into this year telling everybody, hey, I think we're going to have a correction, but I don't think we're going to have a bear market. I told everybody, hey, I think we're going to have a correction. I don't think we're going to have a recession. I told everybody that in January and February. And then I found out what the tariffs were. Okay, the tariffs are way, way higher than anybody expected them to be. And that changes things now. It does. It changes things. It really does. It changes things. There's really not much else to be said. It really does change things. You know, this is a kind of one of these events that, you know, the tariffs are far worse than anybody was really necessarily thinking. That's why the markets reacted the way that it did. So here we are, and we have to adapt. You know, you have to adapt. You have to adapt. You know, you have to adapt. I mean, yeah, smalls, but like I don't know. I feel like it's too late. I don't want to sell now. I'm not going to sell now. I'm not going to sell down 20-something%. Like, I'm not going to sell. I'm not doing that. This came out of nowhere, guys. You got to realize it came literally in 2 days. The market just went down 15%. In 2.5, we haven't even had day 3 yet, but you're already down 5%. Like, you literally went down 15% in 3 days, in 2 days and an overnight session. 2 days and an overnight session, you're down 15%. And it's because of tariffs. You know? So I'm not going to sell now. You know? I'm not going to sell now. I am going to probably buy some stuff tomorrow. I'm going to probably position myself for I'm going to position myself probably for like a tradable bounce. I'm going to position myself for a tradable bounce over the next couple of days. And that's really it. You know, that's really it. But I'm not going to sell now. I'm not going to sell now. No, I'm not going to. If you guys sold a month ago, congratulations. You know, some people are like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. And you say that because you hate Donald Trump with all of your heart and soul. But nobody actually anticipated the tariffs being as high as they actually were. There was 3 potential outcomes that the Wall Street community had pegged for the tariffs. One was 10% blanket on everybody and everything. The other was individual targeted tariffs, which is like individual targeted tariffs, which would be like certain products from certain countries and different.
Sorry. One second, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt again. Here's the deal. All the people that are signing up, and it is over 100 at this point. Everyone that's signing up, when you sign up to True Trading Group, we have the first course that you have when you sign up to True Trading Group is our Welcome to True Trading Group. This is how you use the platform. Typically, we want you to go through that course before you're able to start engaging in the chat room. And it's a very simple course. It's just like, hey, this is how you send a direct message. This is how you do this. So this way you're not in there, you know, asking all that. But since we're going over it tonight, I have Luciano, one of our salespeople. He's literally going account by account because there's no quick way to do this, to literally go ahead and kind of pass that first course for people, so that you guys can engage in the chat room this evening so that we can work it out there. All right. So just be patient. We'll be on with you as long as it takes. All right. Thank you.
Nice. Good stuff. But yeah, you know, so option number 2 was like a targeted tariff. And then option 3, which Wall Street viewed as, and again, Wall Street's not political. They just try to look at what are the potential outcomes. And the analysts were pricing like worst possible scenario was like a 25% blanket tariff on everybody. And that was viewed as worst possible scenario. What we got on Wednesday evening was far worse than that. It's far worse than that. It's far higher. It's far, far higher than that. Most specifically, it's far higher than that with China. And that's the big one. The markets would have rather seen a 25% tariff on China than a 34 up to 52%, which is just, you're talking about double as bad as what people thought. Hey guys, listen, normally we usually have called, we call people's names. Normally we call people's names when they sign up and we're like, hey, welcome to the family. But there's just too many. There's too many right now. Joe Russo, you are going to lose your money. Okay. I guess so, Joe. I guess so. If you say so, my man. Yeah, I guess so. Oh my goodness. So anyway, we'll see what happens, guys. Joe Russo, brother. I've been doing this for 19 years. I'm good, man. I'll be all right. I'll be okay. We'll be short the market if it keeps going lower. I'm just telling you, I'm not shorting the markets tomorrow. I'm not shorting it tomorrow. So I'm telling you that I'm not shorting it tomorrow. I'm looking for the markets to try to give you a tradable bounce within the next couple of days, and then try to short the bounce. But trying to go short the markets after you just fell 15% in 3 days is wild. It's wild. But this is the panic. This is what happens. This is literally what happens. This is literally what happens every single time. Every single time. And guess what, everybody? Guess what, right? And listen up. People like Joe, other people listen up. Here's something that's not actually going to sell a membership, right? Here's something that won't sell. Type the number 1, everybody. Type the number 1 if you guys can all just hear me okay. I want to make sure everybody, even in the back, can hear me. I just love the people that are like so incredibly sure of themselves. They're like, oh no, I know for certain. I'm 100% certain. They probably have never. It doesn't matter. Here's the truth. Okay. Here's the truth. Okay. The truth is everybody loses money in the stock market. That's the truth. It's truth. Everybody loses money in the stock market. You're supposed to. I lose money in the stock market sometimes. Everybody loses money in the stock market sometimes. Trading is about winning and losing. Okay, your net P&L is the culmination of all of your winning trades and all of your losing trades. Okay, being a really good trader and being consistently profitable in doing so is not about just having all these massive wins. It's also about limiting your losses. It's also called limiting your losses, controlling your losses, controlling risk, right? Managing risk, right? Managing risk. Like what you fail to understand is the large size position that I've had in gold for the last 2 years that has acted as a massive hedge on my portfolio. But it's okay, guys. You guys don't understand that. It's fine. It's gold, massive, just absolutely massive. It's been a big position for us over that. And I've trimmed it on the way up. I trimmed it at 3,000. I trimmed it at 2,600. I still have a piece of it. It's been a really good hedge for us. But This isn't about, you're going to lose money sometimes. You're going to lose money on trades. Sometimes your portfolio is going to go down. Other times it's going to go up. Like, you guys have to separate the two. You got to separate your long-term portfolio and your trading account. They are two completely separate, different things. Okay? They're totally different things. Your long-term portfolio, yes, the markets crash. Yes, there's recessions. But at the end of the day, the markets recover over time. Okay? It's like people always forget this. And here's a statistic that nobody really understands or knows about. And this is why it's important that as the market sells off, you just average your way in. When there's a real market crash, like a real crash, which is what you're experiencing now, and whenever there's a recession, and really when shit hits the fan, you just average yourself in on the way down of that in your long-term portfolio, and you give it time, and you're fine. Honestly, 2008 was the worst recession anybody here has ever seen in their life. The markets went down 36% in 2008 and then proceeded to go down another 20% from January to March of 2009. But then here's the fun part that nobody tells you. In 2009, even though you went down 20% from January to March, from March to December, the markets went straight up. And even after you had the worst recession the world's ever seen, the stock market, the S&P 500, finished the year in 2009 up 20%. Up 20% in 2009. From January to December 2009, the S&P was up 20%. And that's what you don't think about. And that's what you don't talk about. That even if you were a horrific investor, and even if you were just early, should I be buying the dip today, or do you think it will keep dipping tomorrow? I mean, listen, I'm going to buy stuff tomorrow. I'm going to buy some stuff tomorrow. Okay. Do I think that we still go lower? If we have a recession, yes, we're going to go lower. Okay. If there's a recession, we're going to go lower. If there's a recession, right now is not the bottom. The market's not priced right now for a recession. You still have more downside if you have a recession. But what I am telling you is that throughout your investing career, recessions are actually very rare. They happen once every 7 to 8 years. And if you just wait every year to just wait and to buy a recession, and you don't ever invest ever besides that, you guys are missing out, man. I don't know when there's going to be a recession. The chances right now that we have a recession are very high. So we very well could, which is why I'm not putting all of my cash into the market right now. But I'm going to buy something, because in the event there's not a recession, then this is going to be your chance to buy. I don't know if there's going to be a recession. I'm not a freaking psychic. Nobody on Wall Street is a psychic. Everybody has their ideas. Everybody has their analysis, but you've got to play probability. That's what this is about. The markets are about probability. They're not about predicting the future. I wonder if Republican voters are regretting Trump as their 401ks plummet and their retirement funds are empty. You are a jackass. You are such a jackass. Oh my goodness. Listen to me, guys. Nobody cares. Not to say nobody cares, because some people do care. This is not about politics. This is not about if Republicans and Democrats, and is Trump right or is Trump wrong, or what would have happened if Kamala was president. This is what the situation that you're dealt with. So learn how to make decisions, learn how to take advantage of it. Whether Trump is the worst and he ruined everything, or Trump is the greatest and he's going to succeed and pull off the last second miracle, who knows? I don't care. What does that do for you tomorrow? Like, people like that, when you can't help yourself but make comments like that, like on a live stream like this, it just shows you that you care more about having a soapbox and trying to like be right politically than you do about your own bank account, and that you do about your own portfolio. That you would rather look to your friend or your family member or your coworker that voted for Trump when you clearly didn't, and be like, ha ha, told you so. You're so childish. Like, let's just focus. How are we going to make money from all this? Right? Like, you're the exact same type of person that would completely blow your whole trading account up on some impulsive decision, and you're going to turn and try to blame somebody else for your actions and your decisions. You're the exact same person. Go to Facebook. There are a bunch of idiots on Facebook that would love to talk politics back and forth. I hate politics. I don't talk about politics. Politics are not allowed inside of True Trading Group. I don't care if you are a Democrat. I don't care if you are a Republican. I don't care if you voted for Trump. I don't care if you voted for Kamala. I don't care if you think Joe Biden's a freaking moron. I don't care if you think that Donald Trump is a freaking moron. I don't care. I don't care if you are a socialist and you pray that Bernie Sanders becomes president next and AOC is his VP. I don't care. Go to Facebook for that. If you want to make money from what's happening in the market, then come here. You're not allowed to talk politics in True Trading Group, number one. Inside chat, you're instantly muted if you talk politics. You throw out any type of political view or opinion, muted. You're only allowed to speak something that is a fact. That's it. You're only allowed to speak facts. You throw out a political view or political opinion, muted, done, zero tolerance policy inside of True Trading Group. Zero. Grow up. Grow up. You are grown-ass human beings. This isn't a Discord. This isn't Reddit. It's crazy. Like, it's so nuts. And I knew this was going to happen today. I knew it. I knew that I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to like get the political stuff going. It goes both ways. It goes both ways. Both sides get like so crazy when something happens. Like, I told you so. I told you so. Watch, because then what'll happen is like the markets will crash, right? We'll have a recession. We'll be like, I told you so. And then for the next, and then 2 years later, the markets go back to all-time highs. And then everyone else will be like, no, I told you so. It's like, stop. Just trade the market. Let's make money together, because that's one thing that everybody can agree on is we all like to make money together. That's it. I don't care. Come on, man. You know, because trust me, everybody else says it on the way up. It's like, it's nuts. It's nuts. It's so crazy. Because it's the other way. In 2022, it was all Joe Biden's fault. Now it's all Trump's fault. Like, it's nuts. Just trade what you have in front of you. Trade what you have in front of you. But anyway, that's it. That's all for me. So I'm buying some stuff in my long-term portfolio tomorrow. I'll let you guys know what I'm buying. But some tech names are still expensive. Like if you have a recession, some tech names are still expensive. And obviously the odds, the possibility of recession is really high right now. So I'm not going crazy tomorrow, but I am buying stuff. Okay. I am buying stuff tomorrow. But I'm still going to hold on to some cash, because if we have recession, you have probably another, even from here, you probably have another 10%. From here, you probably have another 10 to 15% from here. So, I'll save some cash for that. But yeah, there's some tech names out there that I have to buy. You got to buy some of these tech names with the valuations that they're at. Because I still believe, like, do you think that the tariffs, is AI just done? Like AI is not going to advance anymore. Cybersecurity is not going to advance anymore. Cloud computing, data center, all of that, all that stops now. Like that stuff is still going to revolutionize the technology industry for the next decade. It still is going to. Yeah, you might have a recession. Yes, the economy might suffer. Yes, consumers might spend less. Yes, earnings will go down. But then eventually the Fed will cut rates, and then stimulus will happen, and then the markets will come, and the economy will come out of a recession, and the markets will recover, and then you're going to start to get back to those tech companies, and AI further developing, and technology further developing, and earnings starting to grow again, and the economy beginning to grow again, and GDP beginning to increase, and the stock market's going to move back up. Like, you got to take advantage of this kind of stuff. I'm not trying to catch the bottom. Like, that's not the point. You don't try to just buy the exact bottom. I just buy on the way down, and I have price points and areas that I feel are really good purchasing and buying opportunities. And I'm going to buy them when stocks get there. And I'm going to look back a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years later. And I'm going to be like, hey, yeah, they were great buys. Or they weren't. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe some of the stocks go down and maybe some of them go up. It is what it is.
Yep. Trinell, I replied. So Trinell says I already made my 250 back. I meant to reply how, but I replied ho. It was a typo. So I apologize. That was a typo.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah. I mean, guys, that's really it. You know, that's what's really it. So I'm going to be buying some stuff tomorrow. I bought some stuff also on Friday. I bought some stuff Friday. I'm gonna buy some more stuff tomorrow. I still have cash that I'm gonna hold on to. My next area, 460 is a really good support level too. Let me show you 460 while we're here. Let me just so this is the one support level, which is like 480. And then here's 460. 460 is a good spot too. You can see all that resistance back there from early 2022. And then there's resistance there from 23. There's resistance there from 23. And then you broke through it and then you got the all-time high. So that's another support level. But that's still, if there is a recession, that's still too high. You're probably looking more like down here if you have a recession, and getting back into like the chop of 2023 if you have a recession. So I'll probably save some cash in the event that we do have a recession, but I am going to be a buyer here, and then I'm going to hold on to some cash. Okay. And then I'd say tomorrow, I'm looking for signs of capitulation tomorrow. I'm looking for signs of a VIX blowout. I'm looking for signs of like max panic. And I'm looking for a bit of a bounce. Okay. I'm looking for a bit of a bounce that I am going to try to trade. Okay. Like from an active, like literally for like a day trade or like a 1 or 2 day swing trade. I'm looking for signs of a capitulation. I'm looking for signs of a little bit of a bounce. All right. We have recovered a bit. We are now only down 3.5% on the S&P. We were down over 5% earlier. Now we're down 3.5, 3.6. The NASDAQ was down 5.5. Now we're down 4.5. So you're trying to bounce here a little bit. Still not an impressive bounce. I would actually prefer if we sold off further, right? I prefer if we sold off further to the downside so that we can really blow the VIX out tomorrow morning. And then we can look for a bounce off of like 480. But right now we're trading higher now, like 487, 488 on the SPY. You're 49.25 on the S&P. Okay. So listen, tomorrow at 4:10 p.m. Tomorrow at 4:10, I'm going to go live right back here on this YouTube channel, and I'll do an open Q&A for everybody. Okay. For members, for non-members, I'll do an open Q&A tomorrow. We'll see how the day plans out. I'll tell you guys if you're a member, you'll know, but if you're not a member, I'll tell you if I've seen signs of a capitulation. I'll tell you if I've seen signs for a tradable bottom, and then we can look for like a bounce like Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll tell you if I think I've seen that tomorrow, but that's what I'm looking for. Okay. And I'll tell you what to do either way. Like, even if I don't see a capitulation, if I don't see any signs of a tradable bottom, I'm going to tell you guys, what to do. I'm going to shoot you straight. I promise you guys, I will shoot you straight throughout this entire process. I've told you that since day one. I'm not here to try to pretend like I'm a psychic. I'm not here to try to be one thing or the other. I'm just here to just shoot you straight, tell you exactly what I think is happening. I'm not going to be right all the time, but I'm going to give you my analysis. I'm going to tell you my positioning. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to shoot you guys straight. I told you at the very beginning of this, in January, I told you, I think we have a correction this year. Stocks are expensive. I would not be adding anything in your long-term portfolio. Stocks are expensive. I told you that in January. Then we had the correction. Okay. And I'm like, okay, here's the correction. And I'm like, now that the correction happened, I'm like, I still don't think that we're going to have a recession. I still don't think we're going to have a bear market. But that's also because I didn't think that the tariffs were going to be this high. So I was wrong about that. I was wrong about trying to anticipate how high the tariffs were going to be. The markets are down not because there are tariffs. The markets are down this much because of how high the tariffs were. Everybody knew tariffs were coming, and the markets weren't doing this. Everyone knew they were coming. Nobody knew they would be this high. That's what has caused this. Okay. So that was not part of my analysis in December and January, was that this was going to be what was going to happen tariff wise. But that's what we got. And it's our job to adjust. You have to adjust. You got to say, okay, what's the catalyst that the markets care about? What do we have to be paying attention to? I didn't have this on my bingo card for 2025. I didn't have a 34 to 52% tariff on China on my bingo card. I didn't have a 20% tariff on the EU on my bingo card. But it's what we have. And now what do I do? Do I just go, oh, no, no. I figure out, get my freaking ass in gear, do what I do best, and let's make some money from what's happening in front of us. That's what we have to do. I know how to adjust. That's what being a trader is about. If you're a trader, you have to make money when the markets go up. You have to make money when the markets go down. You have to make money when the markets go sideways. It's what we do. It's what we do. So, wow. Now the markets are actually starting to rip. Now we're only down 3.25. Now we're down only 4% on the net. Markets just took out pivot high. Let's see, pivot high of 49.40. We just took it out. You just took out pivot. A 49.40 pivot just got taken out. Now you're looking at, wow. Yeah, pivot high just got taken out. So listen, like I told you guys, I'm looking for a bounce. I'm looking for it. Okay. Now listen, guys, listen up real quick. Listen good. If you signed up tonight, okay. If you signed up tonight, okay. And there's close to 100 of you. Okay. All of you that just signed up. Okay. I can't tell you what to do with your money. Nor will I. Okay, I can't tell you what to do with your money. All right. But what I will do is I tell you, no, listen, I turned 40 on Tuesday. Okay. I tell you what I'm doing with my money. I will also tell you my father is 68. I'll tell you what my father is doing with his money, what I have him do. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Okay. I tell you what I have my brothers doing with them, my sisters, what they're doing with their money. Okay. But listen, if you just signed up and you have no or little experience, and you guys just come into chat tomorrow with no experience at all or little experience, and you just blindly dump your trading account into the very first trade alert that you see from one of our moderators, shame on you. If you are just signing up and you're an experienced trader, then let's go. Let's kick some ass tomorrow. If you're an experienced, let's do it. But if you have no experience at all, please do not just come into chat tomorrow and just dump all of your account in the first trade alert you see one of our moderators make. Take a breath, take time, okay? Take a breath and really say, let's learn how we operate. Let's learn how to, get a basic understanding of what's taking place before you start throwing money all over the place. You're going to see a lot of people that are making money in True Trading Group's chat. Yes, it is real. Yes, we have some phenomenal traders. Yes, we have some phenomenal trades. The volatility's through the roof. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to get really excited, are going to be celebrating. Yes, all of those things are true. Okay. But everyone that you see that is having a tremendous amount of success, many of them also in the very beginning of their trading careers, they got their asses handed to them and they had to learn the proper way how to do things. And they'll be the first ones to tell you, learn to walk before you run. Okay. And even the people that are in True Trading Group will be the first ones to tell you, take your time so that you don't make mistakes early on that dig yourself this deep hole that you then have to climb yourself out of. Make mistakes with this on a simulator, make mistakes on fake money, take your time to actually understand what's taking place. I'm letting you guys join for just $250 so that you don't feel pressured, so that you guys take the next 90 days to really take a deep breath when everything is crazy around you, and really let the platform, myself, the other moderators, the other members, let us really try to help you during this time. Okay. So again, you guys can go to ttgoffer.com. That's ttgoffer.com. I'm letting you guys join for the next 90 days for just $250. There is no automatic upgrade to an annual membership. Okay. None of that. After your 90-day membership is over, it just expires. You'll never charge anything ever again. You need to manually upgrade your membership to a full year. You would have to do that yourself. It doesn't happen for you if you forget to cancel, nothing like that. And if you decide, hey, I do want to join for the full year, we'll credit you the $250 that you've already spent. And we'll take care of you. We'll get you hooked up. I know it's a crazy time. I know people are anxious. People are scared. We'll work with you to get you guys in and work with you on that annual membership price. But if you guys just paid $250 tonight and you go in traded with $1,000 tomorrow and you lose it all, then you have nobody to blame but yourself. You're just being an asshole at that point. Okay. Just take a second, take a breath, take your time. Okay. Don't just go crazy if you don't know what you're doing. Please. I'm just telling you this for your own benefit. I don't tell you what you want to hear. What you want to hear is, join me, do exactly what I do. You'll make 10 grand tomorrow. That's not what I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. I'm trying to give you actually useful information that can help you and your account. Please heed the advice. Okay? Please heed the advice. All right. So we'll see what happens in the overnight session. Things are crazy, right? The Japanese market's halted. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we continued lower in the overnight session and then you got like that real capitulation flush out, blow out the VIX tomorrow, and then we bounce. I would actually prefer if that happened. If we just bounce in the overnight session, the long tomorrow becomes more difficult. I'd rather we sell off in the overnight session and then recover. But we'll see. All right. Again, if you guys have any questions at all, 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. You guys have any questions at all? Okay. If you guys have any questions at all. Leighton Earl, let me just tell you, Leighton Earl, you guys just signed up for our trial membership. That's a mistake. The reason why that's a mistake, and again, I'm just being honest with you, I'm being transparent. I don't want you guys to feel like I pulled a fast one on you. Our trial membership is 7 days. But if you decide you want to become an annual member after that, it's going to cost you $1,497. If you don't care, then be my guest. You can join the trial. And then if you want to join, it's going to cost you $1,497 to join the membership. Okay. What I'm doing tonight is I'm offering a very special deal for this live stream only. If you guys want to join, I will give you 90-day access, complete full access. Okay. I'll give you 90-day complete access for $250. And then if you decide you want to become a member, I'll credit you the extra, that $250, and you guys can become an annual member of True Trading Group for a lower price is what I'm essentially doing. If you just join the trial, so like Leighton Earl, if you just join the trial and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that, I'd rather pay the $250 for 90 days. Just send a text message, because now we just have to manually change it for you. Send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. This also goes for anybody that is a current trial, or maybe you used to be a trial member and you guys want to come back. If you want to pay $250 for the next 90 days, I think the next 90 days are critical. I think we're going to find out in the next 90 days whether there's a recession or not. We're going to find out if the tariffs are going to stay or if they're going to be negotiated down. We're going to find out if the Fed's going to cut rates or not. We're going to find out all of these things in the next 90 days. Okay. I'm going to leave this offer available until midnight tonight. So anyone that's watching this video, even after it's aired, midnight tonight is your deadline. 90 days for $250. Okay. If you joined the trial, we have to manually change it. So text us 1-888-621-2127. All right. And then if you guys just joined, you can head into the main chat room. We opened the main chat room tonight just for our new members so that you guys can go in there and get educated on the platform, where everything is, how to use the tools, the resources, how to understand trade alerts, how to, where are the courses and everything else. So you guys can come into the day tomorrow ready to go, right? I don't want you guys coming in tomorrow fumbling over yourselves, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go, not knowing where things are. So you guys can head into the main chat room now and we'll walk you guys through that. Our team will walk you guys through that. Okay. So great live stream tonight, guys. Thank you for joining me. I know it's a crazy time. It is a historic time. Okay. It is a historic time. Okay. It really is. It's historic as all hell. I have never seen anything like this, where you've had 3 consecutive days of minus 5% in the NASDAQ. Right now, the NASDAQ's down like 4.3, 4.4%. We were down 5 on Thursday. We were down 5 on Friday. We'll have to see how we open up tomorrow and how we finish the day. But again, I'm going to tell you guys this again. I am looking for a bounce like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from a technical standpoint. I think you're getting to a blowout type of moment. And I think there's enough support around the 4,800s on the S&P. I think there's enough support there that we can catch a tradable bounce. We can make a lot of money this week doing it. All right. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. My members, I love you guys. Have a great, wonderful rest of your night. And we'll take it from there. Okay. That's it, folks. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Show us some love. Turn on your notifications. Don't ever miss out on these lives. I will see you all tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a day. Get your butts in chat. Log in on the mobile app. It's going to be nuts. Okay? But again, I am looking for a bounce. We'll see. Have a great night, folks. ttgoffer.com. See you tomorrow.